Каждый вторник в 12:10 один из самых известных раввинов нашего времени, Манисом Фридманом, в прямом эфире отвечает на вопросы наших слушателей. Вы услышите мнение самой мудрой книги человечества – Библии, о самых сложных проблемах, стоящих перед современным миром. Присылайте ваши вопросы заранее на наш имейл info@rusa.fm или во время передачи по СМС 347 460 0877.
Добрый день всем, кто настроен сейчас на радио USA. Сегодня вторник. По вторникам мы говорим Thank God it's Tuesday. Пару вторников пропустили. Я была в отпуске, Рэбби Фридман тоже. Вот, но мы вернулись и говорим Thank God it's Tuesday, потому что это то время, когда мы проводим с самым мудрым раввином нашего времени, самым добрым и прекрасным раввином Манисом Фридманом, который очень здорово нам объясняет даже вещи, которые банальные, но сейчас все так усложнилось в нашей жизни, что нам нужна его мудрость Торы, которую он так легко доносит до нас, до всех. И тема дня сегодня – это мы стали настолько зациклены на сне, то, что когда-то было совсем просто, лег, уснул, проснулся, сколько поспал, столько поспал, слава богу, отдохнул, и начинаешь свой рабочий день или там заниматься своими делами. А сегодня мы должны это измерять, мы должны готовиться ко сну, спать определенным таким сном глубоким, иначе он вообще не засчитывается, принимать какие-то сапплименты, там разные витамины. Вот, и если, не дай бог, и все это должно быть измерено, а если, не дай бог, что-то там не сходится, то все, расстройство, и, в общем, ночь не удалась. Вот на самом деле хотелось бы поговорить с Рэбби Фридманом, что это такое? Это одержимость нашего времени, вот такое отношение ко сну? Или это действительно есть в этом какой-то духовный смысл, что надо спать определенное количество времени и спать определенно качественный, чтобы этот сон был? Вот с этим я хотела бы... Да, простой вопрос, но достаточно важный, и хотелось бы обратиться к Торе и с этим вопросом тоже, то есть к раввину Манису Фридману. Rabbi Manis Friedman, hello, thank God it's Tuesday. And there you are. And as I just said to our audience, our listeners, in Russian, that we're living in a times where sleep became an obsession. Something that was so simple before, you get tired, certain time you need to go to sleep, you sleep, you don't really think about it, you wake up whenever you wake up, and, and you brace the day. Now it became something that we need to manage, something that we need to prep for, something that needs to be done a certain way. Now it's measured, there are supplements, there are research, there's tools that, are being used to monitor things, and it really became, I would say it's an obsession. The way it's being treated is an obsession. So, of course, we need some Torah wisdom here as well, because obviously sleep is important. Otherwise, we wouldn't need it. Or we wouldn't be created the way that we have to sleep. So, is there spiritual, is there rules, laws, proper laws, so we don't get carried away in this respect as well in the Torah, which, explains to us what sleep is and, how to do it right, like everything else.
Excuse me. I don't know if it's a Torah thought or a secret, but there's a difference between starting a project and concluding a project. It's a different energy, it's a different emotion, it's a different expectation. It's a completely different experience. You start a project, there's a certain chemical that the body uses, the excitement, energy, and then there's the summary, the conclusion, the ending, which is also important. You have to know how to start a project. You have to know how to conclude it. Emotionally, how do you close down a day? You're supposed to start it with all excitement, wake up in the morning, you're ready to go. How do you end the day? What does a conclusion feel like? Catch up on the latest news? No, that's not how you close a day. That's how you start a day. So at night, there's no new project. The project is bring it to a close, shut it down, end the day. A day begins, a day ends. We don't know how to end in anything. Even with a war, we don't know how to end the war. We know how to start, we don't know how to finish. So Jewish, traditionally, you say the Shema before going to sleep. You do a quick summary of the day, what was good, what was not good. But your thinking, your feelings, your whole system goes into hibernation. A day is a total experience. It starts, there's a middle, there's an end. So the question is not how to sleep. The question is, how do you finish? How do you close down a month, a project, a year? For some people, even an hour. They do something for an hour, they know how. They start and they end. I envy those people. So how do you end? Well, think about it. How would you conclude a day? The Torah's way of doing it is brilliant. And just the idea, it was a good day. I had a good day. That means it's over. The day is ending. It also helps us get into Shabbos. How do you go 6 days of work and ambition and drive and hustle, and then all of a sudden, no more, no rush, no hustle, no ambition, no job. Sit down. The week is over. Can we do that? Can you let go when something is finished? Or do you drag it on? That is the talent. The talent is shift. You did something for a while, now do something else. We're having a hard time with that. We're having a hard time with borders. Borders of our country, borders of our year. You know, there's a year coming to an end. How do you do that? The Torah says it'll take you about a month. You have 11 months before the new year begins. To break out of the habit of 11 months takes 1 month. So we change our habits, we do something unusual, we blow shofar every morning, we say certain prayers that we don't say the rest of the year. We start getting ready for the shutdown. Because if you don't close out this year, you're not going to have a new year. You'll just drag this one on and on and on, and we don't want to do that. This year's got to end. It hasn't been the best of years. So we can say that now in hindsight. When you're starting a year, this is going to be the best year ever. When it's over, you can be honest. You can say, well, that was not so good. Yeah.
It was a tough year, but actually, Beis Hana, just last week, had a wonderful lecture saying that we still have time. So what today is, we still have 26 days to make it the year. 26 days could be enough time. I really like that, so I kind of wanted to share it with our listeners, audiences.
Salvage the year.
Huh?
We can still salvage the year.
Why not? 26 days is a long time. So actually, we still have a chance. Rabbi Friedman, still, in 30, 40 years, something has changed drastically in attitude towards sleep. 30, 40 years ago, successful people and some successful people now, like President Trump, sleep about 3 to 4 hours a day. He says it, and he's not a young man, and he's in good shape regardless. But now all the research is showing that unless you get 7 to 8 hours, you're really doing tremendous disservice to your health. You need to be healthy. So 30, 40 years ago, 3-4 hours, successful people. Now sleep is for losers. I need my time. I can't waste my time on sleep. This is how I get things done. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Now it's the other way around. It's 7 to 8 hours now. Otherwise, I'm not as productive as I can be in order to do whatever I need to do. Which one is the correct approach?
The Gemara says you have to sleep 7 hours.
Oh.
In order to live long. But time is relative. Some people can sleep 7 hours worth in 3 hours. And some people can sleep 10 hours and they're not refreshed. It doesn't work. It's not effective sleep. Efficient. So they sleep and sleep and sleep, and it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. Other people, even in 3 hours, they get 7 hours worth of healthy sleep. So I think those very successful people are successful at sleeping. Because when they sleep, they sleep. Most of us kind of half sleep. Because we can't shut down. Turn off your mind. Now, it doesn't mean stop thinking. That's ridiculous. Turn off the mind means turn your mind to off. Let your mind think about being off, like going on a vacation, to where there is nothing to do. So, I think one of the signs of one of the ingredients of good sleep is innocence. If you feel innocent, you can sleep like a baby. But if you're feeling like I didn't finish, I'm in the middle of a project, I'm not successful yet, I did something bad, can't sleep.
Rabbi Friedman, are any of us innocent these days? Is there like a single innocent person out there? And I don't know, realistically, maybe it's just my circles, but anyone I speak with, no one can sleep well. No one. So, and is there a trick to it? I mean, is there not trick to it? I mean, we're speaking Torah. How do we turn the world off for the period of time that we need to get our strength to recreate? And as far as I know, very spiritual people had even less than 3 to 4 hours of sleep. I believe Rabbi slept 15 minutes at a time? Not that, God forbid, we're comparing ourselves to the Rabbi.
No, they say that Rebbe slept 3 hours on a good night. The Rebbetzin, I think, once said that If there's news about a soldier in Israel getting killed, then the 3 hours are... Even the 3 hours he can't sleep. Well, they say that if you turn off the radio and stop listening to the news, it helps a lot. We don't need to hear about every tragedy and every evil and every darkness and every ugliness that happens anywhere on the planet. We don't need to hear it. It disturbs the whole system. People who stop listening to the news feel much better.
Rabbi Friedman, the news is definitely destructive. But, there's also so much personal stuff going on in people's life. There's family trouble. There's financial trouble. There's so many things going on every single day. How do you turn that off?
Well, at least you'll limit it to that. You have enough problems of your own. What do you have to hear everybody else's? Really, it's your own problems. They're organic. They're not as intrusive. But stuff you can't do anything about, has nothing to do with you, and yet it's so depressing and so negative and so... It's toxic. Your own problems are healthy. Painful, but healthy. And even that you have to minimize. But to absorb every negative event in the whole universe is...
Exactly what you said. How do we turn off paying bills, health problems, kids problems, relationship problems, guilt? How do we turn all of that off in order to get the sleep that we need to get without taking melatonin or some garbage like that? I'm sorry, I don't want to call anything names. If it's good for somebody, it's good.
That's why we say the Shema before going to sleep. I know what I accomplished. I know what I didn't accomplish. Tomorrow is another day. Give it some border. Give it some restraint. It's not freewheeling, constant. I'll deal with it tomorrow because today is over. So yeah, I've still got things to do. I've still got bills to pay. Not now. It was much easier when after the sun went down, there wasn't much you could do. Today on the computer, you can shop and you can pay bills. You can do everything in the middle of the night. That wasn't possible. So it was much easier to relax because what are you going to do? Day is over. You need to plow? Not now. So we don't have borders. We don't have limits. It just goes on and on and on without any discipline. So taking into account at the end of the day is over. Was it a good day? Was it not such a good day? If it wasn't such a good day, well, tomorrow will be better. But you have some kind of control, some kind of handle on what's going on inside your head. Without that, you're just spinning endlessly. And it doesn't make you any better or any more successful. So what's the point? I think that's why God created night and day. So that things don't just go on and on, endlessly, unchanging. A new day is a new beginning. End of a day is an end. You close it down. The day is over. It's like people are saying that eggs, chicken eggs, are not as healthy as they used to be because the chickens lay the egg in the middle of the night because they keep the light on and the chicken thinks it's day. And the whole thing is unnatural. There's no day, there's no night. It affects the eggs. You're eating artificial eggs with artificial intelligence. So we have to give things a little more border. Torah is brilliant in its beginnings and endings. We start a year, we end a year. We start a month, we end a month, especially women. We start a week, we end a week. Start a day, there's an end to the day. In fact, once you say the Shema, you're not allowed to talk. It's so brilliant. It's over. Whatever you wanted to say, not until tomorrow. It gives your brain a little structure.
Rabbi Friedman, what can people who are not Jewish say to have the same effect as Shema Yisrael?
Well, there are parts of the Shema that they can say. Look it up in the Siddur, in the English. Just forgive me for whatever I did wrong. Grateful for whatever I did right. It's not a very pleasant thought, but it's like, okay, the day is over. Write your last will and testament. It's over. The day ends. It's gone. So grieve quickly, mourn the loss of the day, and get ready for tomorrow.
Rabbi Friedman, a lot of people right now also complain that, maybe going to sleep is not so hard, falling asleep, but if, God forbid, you wake up in the middle of the night, that's it. That's it. The light goes on in your head, and what do you do with that? What do you do?
Read. Read something nourishing. Something relaxing that doesn't get you ambitious. Read. You'll fall asleep pretty quickly. Not online. Not online. That keeps you awake.
Rabbi Friedman, I can even say it personally. If that, for instance, happens to me, and I know it also happens to other people as well, so I can say it. When that happens, unfortunately, the thought process at night is a lot more nervous type because there's not much you can do. Now, if it's a morning, it's okay. Okay, so it's showtime. Get your act together. And praise the day and be happy about it and grateful about it, whatever. But in the middle of the night, you're not done. There is more to this night that should be there. So, and if the thought process is somehow not innocent, like you said, it's about some kind of problem solution situation. How do you deal with that? Because it's a lot harder to control the negative emotions and thoughts in the middle of the night than it is during the day.
Yeah. So it probably means that you didn't really shut down when you first fell asleep.
Mm.
So you wake up and it's right, where was I? Where did I leave off? Let's pick up where So again, the ending is very important. A day is a day. You got to treat it like a real unit. It begins and it ends. Then your life is sound. Your life is substantial. We have people, a week goes by and they don't know what they did. They can't. It's just a big blur. That's terrible. I can't remember what happened last Tuesday. Because, what, was it different from Wednesday? Was it different from Monday? I don't know, whatever. Whatever. That's like having bad eyesight. I see something, I'm not sure what. That's not good. So I think the key word is borders. Every day has its borders. And it really is a new beginning. It's a new day. A new day means something. It's not another day. One day follows the next. No. Each day is a separate unit, a separate reality, and each day can be judged individually. What kind of a day was this? Well, altogether the week was pretty good. No. What day? What kind of day was Monday? Because Monday is Monday. That's how the Torah introduces creation. There was an evening and a morning, one day. Each day is one day. So we got to be treated as a complete unit.
Rabbi Friedman, what about the fact that we stopped trusting our bodies and now we need rings and bracelets to tell us how we're doing? What is this? Is this like a new form of control? Is it healthy? Is it not healthy? Your opinion.
If your life is productive and meaningful, it can make up for a lot of physical abuse. Not eating well, not sleeping well, not taking vacations, not exercising. The energy and the excitement of life can make up for all of it. But if your life is not that exciting, then you better follow the rules. So on the one hand, yeah, we're not so conscious of what's going on in our bodies, other than the craving for sugar. That we hear loud and clear. But other than that, we don't really, because we're so distracted constantly. Life is not simple. There's something good about that. The simple life meant you're not going to be accomplishing much, but you'll be strong. Yeah, well, I would trade that for accomplishing. But if you're really accomplishing, it doesn't harm your body either. The adrenaline makes up for it. So when adrenaline kicks in, you don't need to eat so much, you don't need to sleep so much. And the body is fine. Maybe it'll catch up with you eventually, but...
That's the warning that people are getting these days, that, you can just abuse your body so much, and then, basically you're cutting your lifespan shorter. And I think Torah does not argue with that. So you're cutting your life short, so therefore you're going to accomplish less because you're going to have less time in this world. So again, where's the proper balance on this?
But this is the key. If you're overdoing things because you're nervous, because you're insecure, because you're afraid, because you're desperate, of course that's going to weaken you. Even if you eat healthy, it's going to weaken you anyway, because you're not even letting the food process properly or digest properly. But if the reason you're so distracted is because you're enthusiastic about life, no harm. So the main key is serve God with joy. Serve God with joy, and you won't have aches and pains and problems and discomforts. And yeah, it's true. This book finally came out. I've been working on this for like 2 years with writers, and The Silly Soldier, children's book.
We need it a little bit more in the camera if you don't. Okay, here, I'm going to do this.
What it is a book about obedience. We think obedience is a necessary evil. Children are irresponsible, they're reckless, they're brainless. They must have obedience, otherwise they'll get hurt. They'll be in trouble most of the time. But as soon as they're old enough to think, then they won't have to obey anymore. That is not correct. It's not good. When you train a soldier, you don't train a soldier to be obedient in the sense that he stops thinking. Because a soldier that stops thinking is not going to protect you well. I don't want such a soldier protecting the country. Like, should I shoot now? Should I duck? If that's what you're doing to the soldiers in boot camp, you're destroying people. Obedience doesn't mean I do what I'm told. Obedience means I can do what I'm told, because most people can't. Can you carry this bag up the hill? Up a hill? I don't. Uphill is not good for me. I can't do uphill. Can you carry this bag down the hill? 30 pounds on my back? No, that's too much. Half. I'll do half. But 30 pounds. 60 pounds? Oh. I could carry it down the hill, but I have to have my coffee first. I haven't had my coffee yet. I can't function without coffee. Yes, I can carry it up the hill, I can carry it down the hill. But when? Late at night? No, I don't function well at night. Early in the morning? No, it's too early in the morning. I'll do it as soon as it stops raining again. In the rain, I can't. Or when the sun sets, it's too hot right now. Too hot. I can't. Can you imagine a soldier saying, uphill? Schlep this thing up the hill? I haven't had coffee yet. It's too early in the morning. It's too heavy. Why is it a soldier never says anything like that? That's called obedience. If it has to get done, I can do it. What about my coffee? What about the hour of the day? What about the weather, the temperature, uphill, downhill? If it has to get done, I can do it. That's obedience. Obedience not so much to the commander, obedience to the need. It has to get done? Well, let's do it. Yeah, what about your coffee? This has to get done. Coffee doesn't has to be. So obedience is not a curse or a necessary evil, and the sooner you can outgrow it, the better. On the contrary, you become more and more obedient as you mature. Because if it has to be, it has to be. So our lifestyles are so indulgent. that we have become dependent on hundreds of things. We can't even imagine a farmer's life. He has to do that. He has to plow the field. No way around it. No way around it. Well, that's hard, back-breaking work. Well, you got to do it, you got to do it. That's a farmer. So with this book, I'm trying to get parents and children to know discipline, obedience is not a necessary evil. It is empowering, it's a blessing, it's the key to success, it's moral, it's right. It's got everything good going for it. So this lazy, indulgent lifestyle, there's no structure to it. There's no body or outline. Did you start your day or did you end your day? Yeah, whatever. You want to go do this? Not now. Not today. Not by myself. All these hundreds of conditions before you can do a simple task. Obedience gets you out of that. So you wake up in the morning and you say, if I need to do something, I can do it. Without coffee. Without first reading the newspaper. Without the orange juice. Without anything. If it needs to get done, I can do it. Empowerment. I remember reading about a soldier who said to his troop, he said, I'm going to go to sleep. He said, can you sleep in this mess, in this whatever? He says, I'm a soldier. When I tell my body to sleep, it sleeps. That is such a blessing. And that's called obedience. There's nothing evil about it.
Robert Friedman, amazing. Such a simple topic, but important topic, which is half of our life. Something that became very much out there for everybody. A big concern, even though something very natural became a big concern. We spoke about so many things that are supposed to be so simple, but became difficult for some reason.
Yeah, so it turns out that Frankl is very right. If you have meaning, you can survive, you can function, you can do what needs to be done. Without meaning, you're just spinning your wheels. When do you stop spinning wheels? There's no beginning, there's no end, there's no middle.
Yeah. Very important, very important. And thank you so much for telling us about the book. It's also something that we need to really seriously pay attention to. You know, we've been conditioned that obedience is control, and this is something that takes our freedoms away. But in this day and age, please take away as many freedoms as possible, the wrong kind of freedoms. The right kind of freedoms, serving God with enthusiasm and obedience is definitely a positive thing, for sure. For those who already understand it, it's a godsend. And for those who do not and have children, Silly Soldier is a great book, and I believe it's probably sold on Amazon. So check it out.
It's not a commercial. It just happens to be the topic.
Yeah, yeah. But
that we need structure.
Yes, for sure.
And that means a beginning, an end, and a middle.
Yeah. And I think that actually made this topic very clear, easily understood, and hopefully applicable to a lot of people. I certainly got my share of wisdom today, so hopefully everybody is taking away their share of wisdom as well. Rabbi Friedman, thank you so much. Thank you for this time. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for making simple things clear, difficult things simple, and helping us live this difficult life, better and with a more positive outlook. Thank you so much for that.
Shana Tova.
Shana Tova. Thank you. Ну, а всем, кто нас сегодня слушал, большое вам спасибо. Спасибо за то, что вы есть, и за то, что мы вместе стараемся быть лучше и добрее, и воспринимать эту жизнь легче и помогать другим делать то же самое. Так что спасибо вам всем за то, что вы с нами. И с этими словами я, Аня Пекерман, передача Thank God It's Tuesday. Прощаемся со всеми до следующей недели.